Hi, I'm Hina Bokhari, London Assembly member for the Liberal Democrats.
Hi, I'm Ritu Saha, co-founder of UK Cladding Action Group.
Now, Bromley has obviously seen quite a lot of issues here, particularly with cladding, and you have been at the centre of a lot of the campaigning to do with this, and particularly here at North Point. You were telling us earlier about how disappointed you were with Bromley Council actually letting this building get built despite some of the major issues of fire safety, and now you're having to pay thousands of pounds for a waking watch to keep you safe. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yes, so the building was converted from offices to residences in the year 2000, and Bromley Council actually did building control for our building and signed off the building as safe. After Grenfell, we found out that the building not only has dangerous cladding but also has missing fire barriers, which was required by law when the building was converted. So Bromley Council actually signed off an unsafe building as safe, and I really feel that we were missold our flats here. Since then, I have made several approaches to Bromley Council to help us with the huge financial pressure that the residents here are facing with the Waking Watch fire wardens. Over the last 3 years, our building has spent more than £500,000 to pay for waking watches, and I want Bromley Council to compensate us for this because they signed off this building as safe when it clearly wasn't.
Yeah, and it's been disappointing that Bromley Council haven't really been communicating with you very well. You haven't had any visits from local councillors, and so absolutely, them paying for the cost of the waking watches would be a step forward in the right way. But also, we've got a situation with the London Fire Brigade, who are in a position right now where if they find a building that is unsafe, will have to automatically recommend a waking watch. What's your position on that?
We've been asking questions to the National Fire Chiefs Council and the London Fire Brigade about what proportion of fires start in the common parts of buildings, which is where the waking watch actually patrols. And the clear evidence is that fires do not start in common parts. So as a starting point, waking watches are pointless in my view. We are calling on the NFCC and the London Fire Brigade to adopt a more proportionate approach to risk before blindly putting waking watches into place.
And there's lots of concerns about waking watches, some that are not even reliable. There needs to be, like you say, a more of a risk assessment approach to when we are putting in waking watches. And there are fire alarm systems that aren't working that could be fixed instead of putting in a waking watch.
So, absolutely,
well, definitely a position that the London Assembly members from the Liberal Democrats are going to be pushing for. And so the other issue that I was so gobsmacked by this is that the contractors that are being used right now are not fully covered in insurance. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about this? This is something that I was really, really shocked by.
So, contractors are unable to get sufficient professional indemnity insurance cover to deal with fire safety and cladding issues. And we've been calling on the government to step in and act as an insurer of last resort to make sure that these contractors are covered. But it's been more than 4.5 years after Grenfell, and even this simple problem has not been resolved. I discovered just 2 years after moving to Bromley and buying this flat, which I spent more than 10 years saving for, that not only was my flat worthless, but that I would have to be personally liable for almost £100,000 to make safe a building that I thought was actually safe to live in. We were the first building in the borough to find out that we had dangerous cladding, but over the last 4.5 years, several other buildings in Bromley have also been found to have been, similarly affected by fire safety issues. And none of these buildings have been remediated yet. When are the people of Bromley going to be able to live in safe homes? Isn't that a basic, right that we have to expect?